hypnotized. Fly so high, I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Welcome to the Army. Welcome to Arsenal News. Welcome to the first one to talk about transfers. It's not going to be too long. There's not much really to talk about, if I'm honest. A couple of talking points, a couple of possibles. It's one of those at the moment. It's not exciting, let's be honest. Let's quickly get into the comments. Zoo and Katie back or not. We'll get into Katie's situation. I think it's funny to see Nuno loan come back and Poppy reaction though. If we start bringing him back to be a left winger, I have literally no issues with that. Left back, not happening. There is talk that loan will also be cancelled because there's a Turkish club that are willing to buy him. So that's not enough. There's not enough juice on that orange just yet for me to talk about it, but that's the feeling. It's not gone well at Forest, we all know this, but yeah, it could happen. Don't think it'll be much money, if I'm honest, though, especially if we're selling to Turkey. We'll end up signing the Brazilian star, the South Korean ace. I can't be honest and say we're going to sign loads of players because we're not. I think we'll be lucky to get two, and that is lucky, pure lucky. Evening to Toney saying evening, Bobby, and good evening to you, Tierney. Hope you're doing well, mate. Big up to Chris as well. Big up. Hope you're well. Hope you're well, mate. Bobby, please tell me we're not signing the one season wonder Toney. We'll get onto that, mate. We'll get onto that. Marquinhos wanted to play Brazil Olympic team means Nunts want to terminate loan too, and thought I just saw Turkish teams want El Neni to AFCON. Yeah, I predict that El Neni will be the first player to leave. He's meant to be going to Galatasaray. I don't think we will see him again in an Arsenal shirt. And that won't mean a replacement. That will be Lewis Skelly will be moved up to number 3 in the defensive midfielder duties, because I know that Lewis Skelly is knocking on the door to first team action. So yeah, I think if we sell El Neni, that's Lewis Skelly will be part of our first team. Not first team, but he'll be a squad player. So yeah, that's not an issue. Evening to PB. How you doing, mate? I was walking with my dog and saw a 3-year-old score. Let Arteta know. Yeah. Oh, crikey. Honestly, I'm not looking forward to Sunday's game against Liverpool. I'm looking forward to the 2-week break from watching Arsenal. We've got the Arsenal women on a week on Sunday as well. We're playing Watford at home in the FA Cup. So yeah, that's as you can tell, I'm just mentally exhausted by Arsenal at the moment. Nothing's cheering me up. Despite what people think, El Neni served as well. 100%, mate. He's a tin of Ronsil. Everyone needs a tin of Ronsil around the house. So yeah, look, if we get some money for him, perfect. I don't think we'll be replacing him. So I am Bobby. I can make some. Carlisle won a game of football on Monday. Excellent news. Can we sign Beth Mead on loan so she can help the men's team score goals? I'll take Russo as well right now. I'll take anyone. I'll be honest. I'm just so mentally exhausted with the way that we're playing, and yeah, I'm not enjoying it. And the thing is that the Arsenal fan base is just getting torn, and they're tearing into each other as well. It's like people are allowed to have different opinions. You don't need an argument. All of a sudden, 3 points off safety. Excellent stuff. Toney is that 3-year-old named Alex Littler. His brother is in the darts final tonight. Yes. I'm going to try and wrap this up quickly because, I'm pretty sure we all want to watch the darts tonight. It could be fascinating because, Luke has been amazing. So let's quickly get into the first talking point, and we are going to talk about Zubimendi. Zubimendi is our main priority. Funny enough, he was last summer until someone decided to change the priority. But anyway, Zubimendi, I don't think he'll come in January, if I'm honest. I think this is more of a summer signing. We've got a little bit of a chat about the summer signings later. But yeah, Zubimendi is our number one priority in midfield. If we start getting linked with other ones, I'm not too concerned because I know unless we can't get Zubimendi, then we'll move on to other targets. But Zubimendi is our number one target for midfield, and I'm very excited by signing him because I think he's absolutely fantastic. Thankfully, he does have a release clause, so it's not going to cost us ridiculous amounts of money. But normally with the La Liga, you have to pay all in one lump sum. You have to go over into Spain and actually do it. So yeah, that's going to be interesting summer. Hopefully we get Zubimendi, but yeah, I'm looking forward to him. I think he's quality, absolute quality. I've watched him for years now, and I think he's brilliant. Quickly move on to Ivan Toney. Right, Ivan Toney situation. I know that a lot of people listen to certain people on Twitter, and they said there's no chance it's happening. I don't think it will happen, but Toney wants to join Arsenal. Arsenal want Toney. The current situation is there is a agreement between Ivan Toney's agents and Brentford. There is an agreement between Toney and the agents. And now Toney has asked his agents to facilitate a move in January. However, there's a story coming up in a little bit which has a knock-on effect to this. So I will talk about this now because we can't sign him on loan as it stands. There's a Premier League rule where you can't sign two players from the same club, which obviously means Raya has not been an official signing. We've not officially signed him. As much as we thought we were, it was meant to be like triggered on the 1st of January when you can actually sign players. Arsenal haven't done it. I've looked everywhere for all the documentation and stuff. We've not officially done it. So he's still on loan. So we couldn't sign Toney on loan with an obligation to buy at the end of the season. We just couldn't do it. So that causes a bit of an issue because there's no way that we can actually get that amount of money. I don't think the 100 million is true. I think Brentford would accept a lot less than that, if I'm honest. But we just haven't got the money. So, yeah. Let's have a quick look at what people are saying. Big up to Geordie Haway, the lads. Hope you're doing well, mate. Saying Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, my friend. No, Brony, apparently he's a friend with a friend who's self-centered. God, jeez. Oh, crikey. I would do unspeakable things if it would get Cemented to the club. Yeah, I absolutely love Subamendi. I think he's fantastic. As in trading places, sell, then buy. Luke Littler versus Luke Humphries. Final. My predictions: Luke will win. If only you could put a bet on that. I predict tonight Luke will win. Which one? Oh, it's the Luke. One of them. Zubimendi would be a great sign if it happens for you guys. I hope it does. I hope it does. If we buy him for 100 million, then we're idiots, and I'd have to have the Kroenkes certified. Now, thankfully, the Kroenkes don't actually get involved personally with every signing. Obviously, they had to get involved in the Declan Rice situation because there was technical issues. But with Toney, they would get to keep out of it unless, again, the same issues came up. But I don't think they would. I just don't think there's no way he's worth 100 million quid. No way, not in a million years. 7-5 Humphries, my prediction. Humphries is well number one, be an unreal final with Way. Both have played. Humphries won last 3 majors, but Littler has blown Barney and Cross, 2 world champions. Way, excellent. Excellent to send right back to Brentford then. Big up to Luke. Agree, Luke. I'll pay the stamp. I think a draw if no one wins. Oh dear, you're making me laugh and making me cough. So that's the situation with Toney. Currently, Toney is speaking to his agents to try and facilitate a move, but currently that couldn't be Arsenal, especially on loan, because we can't. It's against the laws. So we'll wait and see. However, and I think I have put this in the right position, there are other alternatives to Ivan Toney, and I apologise for my voice. Oh, there we go. All right, so we got Boniface. He is a 23-year-old Nigerian striker who plays at Leverkusen. Signed last summer from Union St. Louis. He's played 16 games this season with 10 goals and 7 assists. So he's had a very, very, very good season at Leverkusen. But then, so to be fair, Leverkusen have had a very good season, playing under a very, very good manager. But we can't talk about that because there are no other better managers in the world. But yeah, Boniface is one that we're definitely keeping tabs on. I personally would prefer him as well. He's 50 to 60 million pounds. Obviously, a cheaper option for a start. But yeah, absolutely amazing. Let him go to Chelsea. Oh yeah, Toney. Yes. Toney thumbs up. Yeah, for that amount of money, I don't want him. I wouldn't want him at all. Ivan Toney for 100 million. He's not worth it. As a Nigerian, I must say he's probably 32 years old. Football age is the thing. Pick up to you, Tommy. But yeah, she's definitely 23 according to all the documentation. Which doesn't mean much, I suppose. But yeah, 50 to 60 million. I'll have him. You know, as an alternative anyway. Alonso, another MGR from being a player under good managers, just like Arteta, and also hit the ground running. Yeah, but for me, I think Xabi Alonso is an incredible manager. Very good manager as well. That's I'm not getting into this. I'm really not. But Arteta they say unqualified is weird, and Xabi doing wonders as well. But Xabi Alonso has done quite a few coaching roles as well. Where was he? Real Sociedad B, wasn't he? Was he at Real Sociedad B? I did other under 21s as well, as far as I remember. If he was born in Japan, he's only 22. I don't have an issue with our goalkeepers. For me, there was an influx of top draw keepers years ago compared to now, 100%. Yeah. The keepers nowadays are just, yeah. They're not my type of keeper. If someone asked me spend a week looking at goalkeepers, I guarantee I'll only come back with about 20 I actually like in the whole world, because it's all this. I must be good with my feet. I want you to actually save a goal. That's what I want you to do. Right, let's move on. 2 gunner recalls possible. Marquinhos, as Moss said earlier, it looks like that will happen. He'll come back to Arsenal due to the fact he wants to play in some kind of international competition which isn't recognised by FIFA, so it's played within the season. But also Marquinhos has not done that well at Nantes, if I'm honest, either. I think he's only made 7 appearances for Nantes. So it's not gone according to plan. Tierney is one we're looking at. Now, what we do want to strengthen this January is left back. So obviously Tierney's obviously a clear option due to the fact he's ours. We can call him back if we want to. It will cost us a fee. But we are looking at other options. Now, I don't know what other options are out there because we're talking about loans. And I'm like, really? Because what I'm thinking of, like, it's scary because the first thought that comes to my head was Matty Target. And I was like, oh, geez, no. But yeah, I was just, oh, no. But look, we'll wait and see. Obviously, we've got injuries, we've got people out on AFCON, and yeah, we need to strengthen. But it also kind of suggests to me that Lino Sousa is not being trusted. So yeah, we might as well all forget about watching Lino make his debut this season because I don't think it's going to happen. As much as I know he's ready, and I know that everyone else feels he's ready, Arteta does not. So we'll move on from that. But it's just more waste of money, in my opinion. Boniface, Upender, Guirassy strikers. Yes, Guirassy is a £15 million striker, but I do have my issues with Guirassy, if I'm honest. He's had one good purple season, like purple batch, where he's just banged in goals for fun. If you look at him beforehand, he's had a lot of hit and misses, and that concerns me. You know, he could just be having in a right purple patch, a bit like Dominic Solanke at Bournemouth. I still, but yes, he's having a great season. But before that, where was he? Because yeah, he just wasn't there. I think Tierney would help Martinelli. I think so as well. But obviously, we all know what Arteta's going to do to him. He's going to ask him to play a role that he's not comfortable with, which will then make him look as a bad defender. And it's because Marquinhos and Brazil want him to play Olympic team this summer, according to Mars. Have we been relegated to the National League? I don't think so, no. Guinea can watch AFCON Guirassy. Sometimes it take a while to be a good striker or goalkeeper. You normally see some like glimpses of it, but Guirassy, you know, we started scouting him when Wenger was still here, and it's never ever materialized into anything. So yeah, I've got my reservations on Guirassy. I just think that's a risk. Not for me. And the other thing is if we were to sign Guirassy, I wouldn't want Eddie to go right now. I'd want him to go in the summer, just in case, and that defies the whole problem, keeping Eddie, because I don't want to keep Eddie because I know Eddie's not good enough. But signing Guirassy, I'd want to keep Eddie just in case it doesn't pan out. Give Brentford Nketiah. There's a lot of clubs that want Nketiah, Crystal Palace being one. And talking about Crystal Palace, because I'm not going to be talking about this specific person today, is watch out for any talk with Michael Elise. There is a slight rumbling that if every bit of jigsaw works out this January, we'll bid on Elise. Then that's obviously losing Smith Rowe, Nelson going out. You know, if everything just pans out correctly, we could go in for Elise, which I would absolutely love because Elise will cover both wings. So I'll be well happy with that. And not for a crazy fee. I think it's around 42 million, I believe. I think it's about that price. I wouldn't give Arteta any money to sign any more players. He's had more than enough. He needs to get more out of our current players. 100 million on Fabio and Havertz. Now make it work. Right, Havertz, totally agree, and so do other people at Arsenal hierarchy. Havertz was a look. I could do a poll: Havertz or Supermendy. Which midfielder would you prefer? I personally would have chosen Zubimendi. Arteta chose Havertz, so it is what it is. Fabio Vieira, I'll be honest, I don't even know what's going to happen to him. There's no talk about him possibly leaving. I think he could leave in the summer. Personally, I'd send him out on loan because we're not going to be playing him. But yeah, can we sell Nelson, Ramsdale, Eddie, El Neni, Jorginho, and buy 3 proper replacements in January? Could we? Yes. Will we? No. Well, Nelson would get you about 15 million. Ramsdale, we want 50, but I reckon we'll get about 40 if we're lucky. So that's 55. Eddie, I reckon we'll get 35. So that's 90. El Neni, 5. 95. Jorginho, 10 if you're lucky. 100. Yeah. It's not enough because to sell Eddie, we want a top class striker. So that's 50 plus million. El Neni will be replaced by Lewis Skelly. Jorginho, he's actually not the one replaced by Zubimendi, actually, because we all know who we're talking about there, and I'm not going to bother talking about him today. Ramsdale, again, we would sell Ramsdale, would have to go out and get a goalkeeper. And we have started to scout. We've got an eye on someone who plays at Rangers. We're keeping an eye on him at the moment, but he is I think he's 17, so he's one for the future. We've got Okwanko that's obviously doing good things at Wrexham, but yeah, we'd have to get a decent second keeper, and I do mean decent. But yeah, does Arteta work out that he's devaluing player by what he does? That has been a big thing, actually. The amount of valuation that has dropped on each of our players this season has been pretty huge, if I'm honest. So yeah, Garassi, Solanke, Toney, and 15 million, not too much of a risk. If it doesn't work, no big deal, but it works. May save us spending £100 million striker. Hang on. Garassi's 15 million. Solanke is 40 to 50, I think. Toney is 80 million. Exactly. Like I said, if we were to sign Garassi, I wouldn't really be too worried about it, as long as we kept Eddie, just in case. Garassi told Stuttgart no new contract. Yep. Elise United are saying they are in loan for United at the moment. I can't see signing any players due to the ownership issue that they've got, because they won't be officially owned. Well, have that 25% stake by Sir Jim until February, March time. There's a possible they might just pause any transfer business until the summer. That can happen with new owners. Havertz, Zubimendi, or Kudu would have been a good poll. Havertz was the most expensive. Yeah, well, you know me, mate. I wanted Kudu. I always wanted Kudu because Kudu's multiple positions, multiple tasks. He could cover for Saka. He could go in midfield. He can play on the left. He works so damn hard as well, which is why I like him. But yeah, it is what it is. But everyone tells me I'm not allowed to have any moan at Arteta. It was Arteta's decision. So Mudryk and Anthony cost 162 million between them. We can't get 40 million for Nelson. No, we'll be lucky to get 20 million, mate. Apparently Arsenal have said Ramsdale not for sale unless a ridiculous fee comes in. So he is for, well, yeah, he's got a price tag on him because there's no way he's number one. Party not for FA Cup yet, but maybe for Palace match. He might be sold by then. We don't know. This is the thing. We don't know if he'll stay. Like I've said, and I will always say this, Arsenal are very willing to sell Party. So if a bid comes in that we're willing to accept, we'll sell him. It's as simple as that. I think we're asking quite a lot for Party, but that will then pretty much cover what we want to bring in. So I have no issues with it if we manage to get that money, but I can't see it, to be honest. We'll wait and see. Look, the January window hasn't really kicked off yet. No one's really done much, and I don't expect much to be done because the AFCON, and this is I think this one will go down to like the last week where everything happens in the last week. So hopefully you won't have to see me until the last week of January when just everything happens. But yeah, we'll wait and see. Temi says, "Oh, Quanco, Ramsdale, Hein, Raya." See, when I first saw Arthur, I wasn't that impressed. I'll be honest. But he's getting better at Wrexham. Ramsdale, I love him as a goalkeeper. Not that bothered about the feet because it didn't really bother me. Hein, no. He should stay third choice goalkeeper. Yeah, that's all I'll say about that. The reason we can't get good money for players is because we overrate them. The reason we can't get good players for our players is because we've sold so badly over the years. And yeah, and we're known as a easy club to buy from, and yeah, we're now trying to act like the big man, and I'll be honest, it don't work. It's our party and nobody wants him. Exactly. Well, there's two clubs that want Party, but I don't think they're willing to pay that money, and I don't think they've got it, if I'm honest, either. So I think that was, yeah, I did talk about Marquinhos and Tierney, didn't I? Yeah. Sorry, I was making sure I covered that slide. Right, the positive news with Arsenal women. Arsenal are very close to signing Emily Fox, 25-year-old right back and left back that plays for North Carolina Courage. This one could be announced at any point. So yeah, it'd be interesting. Can't say I know much about her, if I'm honest. You know me, I'm honest about if I know much about these players. I don't know much about her. I'll be honest, I don't really watch much American women's football. So yeah, the fact that she's a right and a left back is a positive thing. So she's going to be like Katie McCabe, where she can play both right and left, which is fantastic. Well, this is the thing, Tony. I know you've just said not left back, Bobby. That's my get. Well, this is the thing. It's a great cover. It's a great cover to have. I reckon that will either be the end of Maritz or it will be the end of. I'm trying to think who else because Weenroth is still out. I can't see Catley going. That's the thing. But maybe it's just extra cover. Maybe it is just extra cover. Because if you think about it, we keep having to switch McKay from left to right. Catley can only play left comfortably. Cadena has not settled as well as we would have liked. So yeah, I think it's a good signing personally. From what I know of her, which isn't much, but the fact that she can play right and left pleases me anyway. Positive news again. This one I will be very excited by, as everyone is fully aware of how much I don't like our goalkeepers at Arsenal women. There is genuine hope that we can agree a deal with United for Earps. And the reason is, well, we all know what the reason is. It's because we got Russo for nothing last summer. And that was after United had turned down a record transfer fee for Russo. And then we ended up getting it for free. Now, that happened. We bid that last summer on Mary. They turned it down. Mary Earps has not signed a new contract still. So there is belief this time that if Arsenal go in with a bid for Mary, it will be accepted. She'll then be ours, which I'll be delighted by. But if not, there is still the possibility that we'll sign her for free in the summer anyway. So yeah, let's wait and see. But yeah, fingers crossed because I'll be well happy with this one. Probable outgoing as well for the Arsenal women is Arsenal do plan to let Gio leave this summer. Now, it's a shame because she is very well loved by the actual team, but she's made 0 appearances this year. She only made 18 sub appearances last year. She made no starts. She's only 20, so she's at the beginning of her career still. But yeah, it's looking like she's going to be leaving. I think more of a permanent than it will be a loan. So we'll wait and see. United aren't clever. We want Hertz. They won't. Yeah, they won't. They won't want her to go for free. I think they're going to want like 100% confirmation that she's going to leave, and then they'll just accept a fee. And And I don't think Arsenal will bid that high either. So it's going to be interesting. Right. When Tomiyasu does return from the Asian Cup, he will sign his new deal. It will be a pay increase. I know Tony's going to say something to this. I'm sure of it. But I'm just waiting for your comment, Tony, if I'm honest. But yeah, he does deserve the new deal. He does deserve a pay rise. I hope it's not a crazy amount of pay rise. But yeah, no, he's a Swiss Army knife, isn't he? Look, let's be honest. He can play left back, right back, centre back very comfortably. He's a great player to have within the squad. Very liked as well. And he just does exactly what needs to be done. I knew it. I knew it. Tony saying going down now. I don't believe he will. I do get what you're coming from, but I still believe, and look, according to the Arsenal rulebook, I'm not allowed to say this, but I do blame a lot of this season on Arteta. I think he's made stupid errors that have cost us. But according to the Arsenal manual, which no one's ever shown me, we're not allowed to be negative regarding our manager. But I'd love to know where that was. Odds on us signing 2 defenders over the next 2 windows. Probably odds on, mate, if I'm honest. Odds on. Centre back. Anyway, James, you're ruining my end of the show slide. James, behave. I will be talking about that in a minute. Bobby, name one player who has improved since given a pay rise. How long have I got? How long have I got to think about that? You have a really good point, but again, I will blame Arteta a lot this season. No worries, mate. No worries. But yeah, I'd say it's odds on. We'll get onto that in a minute if you're patient, Mr. James. David De Gea deal has not been made permanent yet, and it might not be. And I'm not saying we won't be signing him permanently. All I'm saying is we've not triggered it yet. All the agreements still done, right? So as far as Arsenal are concerned, Ray will join us permanently. Ray is happy to join us permanently, blah, 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 blah. However, the official paperwork has not been done. So that technically could mean that we try and push Raya into a summer signing. Like, I don't know, we finish May. Yeah, we finish our season in May. Then we can trigger it. Let's say because we're about to injure. I think we're talking about Tommy. Sleeper's always improving. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, since his new contract, he's been improved. Yeah, but yeah. It's one of those. I paid Brentford to keep him. Bobby, don't you dare give me hope. All I would say, it's not a permanent deal yet. Now, normally, what you do when you do the loan, and we all saw it on Twitter. Was it December, November time that it's all been agreed that it's a permanent signing now? Normally, it's triggered on the first day of the new window. Hasn't been done. We're on the 3rd now. Now it could be Arsenal keeping that money back, so we've got money to play with, which could be a possible, which is quite sensible if I'm honest. And just trying to be a bit clever. Maybe we'll wait and see. I'm still pretty sure he's going to be our permanent signing. I just don't know when we're going to trigger it. The thing is, if we don't trigger it in this window, we will have to wait till the next window, which is a bit of a. It then puts that transfer signing into the next window, which then gives us less money to spend next summer. So I don't know how. Yes, it's a risky run, if I'm honest. Is Papa Cronke making moves for us with the Colorado Rapids? It's Stan. All right. I know what you're on about with because Zach Steffen has just signed for Colorado Rapids. Now, that's a player that I highly recommend. I think he's better than Matt Turner, especially with his feet. He's more confident with his feet. He's a player that I would have been quite happy with a number 2, if I'm honest. I think it would have cost us about 5 million last summer if we went to get him. I don't think so. Currently, the goalkeeper situation is as it is. Raya Ramsdale. Will that change? Probably. There's no way Aaron's going to be happy with being number 2 next summer. No way. Saliba hasn't improved. Gabriel has been better, let's be honest. He's also had a pay rise. So there's another one that has actually had a pay rise that has improved. Right, let's talk about what James has decided to ruin. Right, Arsenal plan on another huge summer, plans in motion for at least 2. There are plans for at least 2. One of them is a centre-back. That plan is in motion. Should be confirmed. Should be a fairly early signing as well in the summer window. So I'm happy with that one. Other signings at the current situation is we want like 5 positions. It's whether or not when we can get them done. Now, this window is extremely tricky because not a lot of clubs have money. There's going to be a lot of loan with an option or obligation to buy at the end of the season. You're going to see it. It's going to be horrendous. But yeah, it's going to be tricky because if Arsenal were clever and we had like FIFA mode on, we could easily raise 150 million just like that if it was FIFA mode. But it's not FIFA mode. We're not in the game reality. So yeah, it's going to be so hard to get what we want for the certain players. Cedric, I expect to leave. There's going to be no need for a replacement. We're just getting him off the books. El Neni, again, he's a third choice. Lewis Skelly will probably step up and be more of part of the squad. So those 2 are going to make, 6 to 7 million quid for us. It's not a lot when we've got currently 25 to play with. We haven't got much scope. We want top quality players, which cost top money. So yeah. Rapid's been bad. They need some help. Would Arsenal consider sending the younger lads and 18 over to Colorado, play more next season? This is the thing. Just be right. This is the difference between like the City group. We don't have a group. We don't have a link with Colorado apart from our owners own Colorado, and they own us. There's no like. Is it Girona in Spain? I think it is, isn't it? With the City Group, and the City Group got loads of multiple teams where they send their players. We don't have that kind of agreement with each other. So yeah, it's winter and has not been cold yet. Cannot think of summer yet. We have to talk about summer because this is why this window could be a little bit quiet. I'll be honest. I've given up on Arteta. Sorry, Bobby. I'm off to Real Madrid if they come in. Mate, I have no issues with anyone right now being a bit fed up with Arsenal because it is. Yeah. Now watch Mbappe. Look, we are one of 9 clubs that have offered a deal to Mbappe. I think I'm allowed to say now Liverpool are another club and Real Madrid are obviously the 3 clubs that I can mention. But there are 6 other clubs that have all put a deal in for Mbappe. Now, there's talk that in, I think it's 12 days, we will find out Mbappe's decision. I don't believe it will be that quick. I think it could be the end of the season where he just all of a sudden drops who he's signed for. I think he'll let the club know a little bit earlier. But yeah, I think it's going to be a massive kind of spectacle. Because at the end of the day, it's Mbappe and he's going to go to somewhere for free. PSG, as much as they want to kind of dig their heels in, have no powers on this. It's up to him now. It's weird season timing, so it is, mate. It is. Part of me wants to scrap the transfer window. Just do what we used to do. Sign players whenever you want. That's just me. Yeah. There's one in Australia as well. I think there's one in Japan. I can't remember the one in Japan. The silver one, this expression will be better, Bobby. Let's keep. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, who did that? Oh, Toney. I weren't too sure if it was Toney or Tierney then. Why are you saying keep Cedric? No. God. Oh, sod off. Sod off, Toney. Oh, my God. Oh, no. So, like, Christ. No. No. Right. Anyway, so back to this. Summer plans, they will be huge again. We'll probably get, I think we'll get a minimum of 3 big players in the summer. And it all depends on what else we can do in January. I think there'll be a lot going out as well. And that is the big thing. A lot of players need to go for themselves, not just for Arsenal, but for themselves, because they've got no career here. What is the point in keeping them if we're not going to play them? Oh my God, I nearly said that. Toney. I'm glad I didn't, because I think I would have been sick in my mouth. Yeah, I'm not. I'm just going to leave it up there, Tammy. No offense. I have no wish to say it. That makes me feel sick. I wanted Onana before Everton signed him. Moss will say, and Moss will say it as well, how good Onana was in France. Absolutely incredible player. Absolutely love him. He's my type of midfielder. He reminds me very much of Patrick. Very much like him. I just think he's quality. I know it costs quite a lot of money to get Onana now, but yeah, I wish we'd got him from France, if I'm honest. The thing is, Bobby, will Arteta be here? Well, this is the thing. Look, I'm not going to say he's going to be sacked, because I'm not. Because I don't know. We don't know how the end of the season might pan out yet. We're only halfway through the season. The season's not over. We're not in the bottom 3. That's the positives. But also, even if, I don't know, we achieved 3rd, we got to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, we got to the semi-finals of the FA Cup, fairly decent season for the majority of us, I would have assumed. We don't know what Arteta wants to do. Arteta, he had a wobble at the end of last season. And, if he was to have that kind of season, he might have another wobble and just go, you know what? I don't think I'm the right type of person, or maybe I don't have the type of quality. So yeah, tell me you can't. Well, I'm not even saying it again. You're all trying to trick me into saying stuff that's going to make me feel sick. Do Everton need to do some selling, or got punished already and don't have to? Their takeover, which seems to be taking forever, should be announced at any point. But they don't need to sell. Their punishment probably will be reduced. They've already had their 10 point deduction done. Financial ones, they're pretty much easy to cover anyway. It's birdseed to most teams. Everton don't need to sell. They're not in the financial issues anymore. The new owners will come in at some point. I'm sure they will. The reason is it's because of who's buying them. It's a lot of paperwork needs to be done. A lot of checks need to be done. It's not as simple as Joe Blogs buying someone. It's a big organization buying them. So yeah, it's a technical one. Hopefully Arteta walks from my point of view. He could do. You never know. It wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't. Because I know how much he came close last summer. It could do. And I'd have no issues. Why keep a manager with attitude? Well, there. Oh, Jesus Christ. Toney, I love you, but because it's not a challenge, I don't need to do it. I'm gonna choose to not answer. That's what I'm going to choose because I'm not forced to do it. There's no challenge here. What's this about? Spurs might be in trouble. FFP. Spurs are in trouble for another situation, but Forest are the team that are most likely to be in FFP trouble next. Tottenham are hovering close. We're hovering close. I'll be honest. We're hovering close, which is why this January is extremely important. We've got to get it right. But yeah, there's a lot of clubs that have. Personally, I think we should just scrap FFP because it's not done what it's meant to have done. All it's done is kind of made the richer and the poorer. It was meant to level it out, and it really hasn't. And personally, if you had rich owners that would just spend loads of money, they'd be giving it some money to clubs that probably don't have a lot of money. So then, yeah, there you go. Fee is too tight for FFP. I thought Chelsea exposed their FFP issues too. Okay, Moss, this is different. Right, so Chelsea, their FFP issues is the FFP. Their other issues that they reported themselves for was some under the table dealings that Roman Abramovich did. They are the issues that they reported themselves for. So that is going to take a lot longer. It's going to take like a city type period to deal with because they need to get all the evidence. They need to question people. That's going to take a long time. But FFP for Chelsea, they should just about get away with it. Well, it's helped by City with 16 charges. I'm starting to think Prime Walcott is better than our current front three, and he wasn't that good. Yeah, it was old. It was old stuff. That so FFP is you can't report yourself for FFP. That is something that is monitored. But the stuff that they reported themselves for was, I think there was like 3 deals that was done like in a dodgy way. So yeah, that they are the deals that they reported themselves for. So they probably will get punished for those, but because they've reported themselves, they're hoping that it will be a slight reduced punishment. Which, to be fair, it probably will be because new ownership. Wasn't them that did it. It's technically the club, but yeah, it's one of those. They'll get punished, but I don't think it'll be a severe punishment. Walcott was good for us. Personally, I think I've always liked Walcott. He annoyed me sometimes. I think he would have been better as a striker. I think we should have trusted him as a striker, but there we go. But guys, we're done. I will be back at the weekend for the Liverpool preview. I'll be back for the Liverpool game as well on Sunday. I'll also be on FTSN for the Sunderland Newcastle game at 12:30. So yeah, watch that because I can't wait for that. The Premier could get a conviction on Ken sleeping. No worries, mate. Chelsea could probably relegate themselves anyway. They could, yeah. The self-destruct mode at the moment, Chelsea. Guys, I'm done. Thank you ever so much. Speak to you very soon. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye-bye.